What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another month of Movie Monthlies here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's comic book news, movie news, and generally just having a bit of a chit chat about everything to do with film.
Nice.
That's tough to remember once a month. But I'm joined as always by my best pal, Mr. Shaun Mead, who will never leave us. Shaun, how's it going?
I'm about to leave us, Conor.
You're in the airport now with a little napkin.
I'm doing this on the plane. Everyone around me is pissed off, I will be honest.
Pretty good. So, if people don't know, this is Shaun's last episode for a little while. He is going to Japan for 3 weeks. So, I mean, doesn't really affect Movie Monthlies in that it's a monthly show. So, 3 weeks less.
In good time for Movie Monthlies, to be honest. I'll bring all the news from Japanese cinema. I will say, you say I'm going to Japan for 3 weeks. A couple of those days I'm seeing a Fall Out Boy concert in London, Conor. Now. Sorry, you lied to me. This whole thing has been a charade. You're not even going to Japan. I'm going to Japan. I'm doing both. I'm fairly sure I told you this.
I don't listen.
You said your favourite song was Alpha Dog.
I listened to the last 3 words of every sentence you say, and then really? I guess.
That's one of the reasons why I like you. There we go.
I was like literally in my head being like, okay, wait till he finishes the sentence and then count back. Okay.
We out-joked each other there.
Yeah. So, Shaun, this is Movie Monthlies. There's a lot to talk about because last month there was no news due to the fact that the strike was on at the time.
And we don't want to do strike reporting because that's grim and difficult.
Yeah, well. And also this month still strikes are happening, so it's a weird vibe of just rumours.
Writer strike is finished, actor strike is still going on.
Yeah, so nothing is going ahead currently, but
Animator strike is coming by the fucking second, let me tell you.
It's coming in quick, but also because the writers are now back, we now have like rumours of new movie being written because now we're allowed to do that.
Tell me who's meant to be in Fantastic Four, Conor.
Do you know what? I was doing the this week's news or whatever, and like I seen a report that was like Matt Shakman says the casting for Fantastic Four is complete. Nothing else. Nobody's in it.
No.
I'm done with that movie and it's fucking casting going on for 6 months. Leave me be.
Apparently, I heard that the Fantastic Four that they were working on it was announced way too early because it was at an investors meeting and they needed to drum up fucking profits.
Did you this is also, by the way, this is Movie Monthlies. We're just going to talk movie news, but could you give us a like and follow whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on? Could you also give us 5 stars on Spotify? We're going for 5 100-star reviews before Christmas. It would really help us out, and Shaun needs it to fly back from Japan. He needs that.
They won't let me back in if I don't have it. I need to
got a
prove my worth.
one-way ticket. I said
my
he's not
father
allowed
won't
back.
let me.
But also I seen the report, this is small news so it doesn't count as big ones and that we're going to talk, but that they were very disappointed in they were very surprised at the reaction to Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I
thought it was a bit of fun, honest. Like, I went in not expecting much and I had a good time. But it is wild to have the big bad of the next phase go up against Ant-Man and lose in his first outing.
Yeah, that's he should have killed him, beaten him to death. If we're not going to re-review that movie, but he should have beaten that man to death. I know Paul Rudd's a lovable man. I love him just as much as anyone else. Hey, look at us. But at the same time, he needed to be beaten to death by
he should have been trapped in the realm at the end of that movie.
And I wanted him a few hope spots, trying to get a few licks in, and then just immediately beaten to death to a pulp. But Shaun, we're going to start off Movie Monthlies with... I mean, this is, I think, a pretty big thing that's being rumoured currently is that Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures have reportedly agreed on a production start window for Spider-Man 4.
Interesting. With Timothy Holland, I hear.
So with Timothy and Zendaya and all the lads coming back.
Jacob Batalon,
of course. The guy who plays Flash Thompson. I can't remember his name. The actor is quite good.
He's quite good, but I can't remember his name.
I was about to say Aunt May, but... No, Marissa's not coming. Marissa's taking this one off.
We'll have to get a new, younger, hotter Aunt May to continue the trend of trilogies.
Keep getting younger. I want to do the Transformers thing where they just keep hiring Victoria's Secret models.
Yeah.
and they're like always like 16.
It's your Aunt May. What do you want from me? Well, let's have him be 18. Let's have him be 18, Connor.
No, it's funnier if she's younger than Peter, first of all.
Is that funnier?
And secondly, then you also have the scene that they had in Transformers 4 where they have to pull out the legal rights of that state as to why she can marry.
That is wrong, by the way, that like thing that she pulls
obviously.
out.
I mean, it's a Michael Bay movie, Shaun, obviously. If it doesn't know, there's a scene in Transformers 4 where a man who is clearly like 27 is meant to be dating Mark Wahlberg's daughter, who is about, I think she's 16 or 17.
She's 17 in the movie, and he's
Mark
meant to be
Wahlberg's
21,
like,
I think.
Hey dude, that's not great. And then your man pulls out a card that has the legal statutory law that he's thinking of, that is like, well, actually, in this state, it's completely legal for me to be dating your 17-year-old daughter and having sex with her.
He carries it around laminated in his wallet. That's not weird at all.
It's not weird. It's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. It's technically fine.
It's technically legal, but not good. So, Shaun, Spider-Man 4, they're eyeing a late 2024 production start. This does mean that Timothy Holland is coming back, with Zendaya as well, obviously coming back as MJ. It was first announced to be in development in 2021, and then they were also kind of talking about maybe this is Tom Holland's last movie, was the last one, maybe they're finished. I just think this is one of those situations, especially with John Watts as well directing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of... Sony must be sitting there going, this is the only movie we do that people love.
And the exception being Spider-Verse, which is still Spider-Man related. I think... Okay, so if we're talking a late 2024 production schedule, we can expect this to come out sometime in 2026, I would imagine.
Feels like a long time from now, but it's not.
No, but it feels like a bunch of shit has to happen before, because I have a feeling that Secret Wars, when that eventually comes out, is going to do a whole fusion of all the universes. So the Deadpool is going to come in, and maybe Morbius and Venom are going to make their way over to the MCU. And I think if you want to introduce someone to the new, what they did in the comics, it was called All New, All Different Marvel. So if you do the All New, All Different MCU, objectively the best character to experience that through would be Spider-Man. Just swinging around and bumping into people. And then maybe hand off some of the Miles Morales stuff as well. Bring a lot of that in, so that Tom Holland can eventually fucking retire from Marvel.
It might be one of those one last job before retirement. I think this is one of those situations where probably Tom Holland is that last movie, it's fine to finish on. I think that's a lovely... It ends with him in the snow in the fucking suit and nobody knows who he is. And obviously it's sad, but I think it's actually a really cool ending for that character who starts off as basically Iron Man, Spider-Man, and then develops... within 3 movies, he actually goes backwards to where he's now just neighborhood Spider-Man with nothing.
Yeah, but I also think Tom Holland is, 26, 27 now?
Yeah.
Where... I don't think you get another... I think to tell the Spider-Man stories they want to tell, they need another 10 to 15 years of Tom Holland acting as Spider-Man. And I don't think he wants that.
No, and look, that's... I mean, now his agents do need to... They need to work harder at picking projects.
He needs to... I don't know. pay them worse or something.
I love the fact that, like, if people are in bad movies and then you're like, okay, look, sometimes people are just like, oh, they're a bad actor, but like, we know Tom Holland can act, like, he's really good, and then the movie choices he makes, his agents find him these movies and they're just like, yeah, do this is the next big hit, and it's always like, oh, Tom.
I did see a thing and it was like, Idris Elba is the best actor with the worst track record. He's in so many bad movies.
True, but he does have Luther that kind of carries him.
Luther is just a consistent... No, he's always great in Luther.
And you know what's funny is I think Zendaya is the opposite. Like, I think... No, well, not the opposite in terms of talent. She's also incredibly talented.
Yeah,
I mean, like... It's very funny because every project she picks absolutely blows up and is like amazing. Like,
yeah, well, I think she's very selective herself. Like,
she's in Euphoria and Dune simultaneously.
Like, just two of the biggest properties.
And Tom Holland's like, oh no, I'm going to go do another movie with Mark Wahlberg.
I'm going to do a weird, not dystopian Hunger Games-ish type thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Also, a main problem we have with this Spider-Man movie, not that we have, but that they may run into, is that there was a lot of talk that this movie would focus on the aftermath of some of the upcoming Disney Plus series, such as Daredevil Born Again.
Hasn't come out yet.
As it was going to have like Charlie Cox and it was going to have Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, and they were going to be involved in this movie in some way, and I think that was like a really cool idea. The issue with that is that Daredevil's Born Again series is now being like brought back to step one because they're like, we need new writers. Different writers.
This is something that we haven't really talked about since the news came out, but Disney put out a big announcement after the writer's strike ended that they're now going to follow the format of having a showrunner and planning shows out in advance of filming them.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bold move, but I think Michael Mouse can handle it.
So you're saying Michael, he's decided that from now on, if I do a movie in 2026 and I want a different movie to maybe introduce a character from that movie, maybe we plan both simultaneously.
Yeah, maybe we have the writers, I don't know, talk to each other a little bit.
A WhatsApp message. Maybe just an odd message on WhatsApp, just what's going on, this is what I'm up to.
Look, and I know everyone likes to be like, oh, free spirits and creative arts and all that kind of thing. Maybe you take a role from an office environment and just do a handover of like, here's all the essential information you need to get the job done.
A CC and an RE in the subject line, lad, and you're just laughing.
Give me 7 bullet points about how Wanda is supposed to act around people.
Just so we can all be clear of where we're going here, because it seems confusing.
Look, I get it. It's a lot to watch, and you're only being paid $10 million for showing up. So why would you bother spending your time watching 6
Well, the writers aren't. That's the problem.
Well, that's hopefully what the strike resolves.
Well, the issue why they can't talk is the writers are told like the day before, hey, we want the script by tomorrow. Okay, or else you're fired. Okay, bye.
And also you're working for Marvel. Where are you going to go from here?
And if you talk to anybody else, we're going to also kill your family, just to let you know.
And you said you support that, correct?
I do, yeah.
Oh, he's doubling down. I love it.
Oh no, I don't know what to do. He's called my bluff. So, like, do they introduce Venom and Kraven into this? What do they do with Spider-Man 4? Because the big thing that everyone's going to ask, and we probably should touch on, what's going on with the memory stuff? Are we just going to have a new first movie where he has to introduce himself to everyone, and like there's
what I think you do is, in the Spider-Man comics, it was like in school, it was like in like high school, say, it was Gwen and Harry and like Flash Thompson and stuff like that. But I think you do Spider-Man in college, and then you do like MJ and then maybe more of Ned, and do it just slightly aged up. So you do all the because they want like the MJ storyline.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're ever going to introduce Gwen, and if they do, I think they introduce her as a character that gets forgotten and might piss off a lot of Gwen Stacy fans, because there's literally no way unearthed that they're doing this movie and Tom Holland ends up with Gwen Stacy.
No, not at all. But I think it's going to be like he goes to college, he's starting a new life, he's staying away from MJ and Ned, maybe keeping an eye on them as Spider-Man. And then he does get together with Gwen Stacy. But then they like somehow the two friend groups merge and MJ comes around and he opens the door and it's that you hit the jackpot tiger fucking comic panel. That is entirely what they want to use. And then they fall in love again. Like, they don't even need to get the memories back, but they can just fall in love again. I think that's the end of Spider-Man movie 4.
Do you know what, though? That sounds so boring.
I know.
Like, it's so interesting. Like, of the character. I
shouldn't be able to think that up, is the issue.
No, the issue with that is, but also, I hate when TV shows do it. It's a trope of like everyone has amnesia. Like we have this we have these episodes where these people are genuinely creating chemistry. We build a relationship. One person's forgotten the other. Now they've got to fall in love again. I don't really care the second time because like it's tough to get back to where I was on step 1. Yeah. We're like, yeah, let's get them together. This is fun.
Can I do a deep cut for a really quick second?
Like emotionally, or are we talking?
No. Just in terms of plot, it's a reach, is what I'm going to say to you.
Go for it.
So, spoilers for Spider-Verse, I guess. But Miles Morales, at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, ends up in the wrong universe, where there was never a Spider-Man. Essentially.
True.
I think and then there's a thing in Marvel Comics, and it led on to that Brand New Day thing that I mentioned earlier, where Spider-Man makes a deal with Mephisto to give his relationship in exchange for Aunt May's life, and then he just becomes Spider-Man as normal, right? What if there was a thing that there was some crisis involved, that Peter Parker had to go to a different universe, but this time he gets his relationship back, and then Miles Morales becomes the main Spider-Man of the MCU.
Oh shit.
Because I maintain the end of the next Spider-Verse movie, he's coming into live action. I think that's pretty much guaranteed.
What? That idea that like it ends where Tom Holland's Peter Parker, there's a universe where him and MJ can finish off together, like a Captain America style thing.
Yeah.
That like he goes off into the sunset, and then you have Miles take over.
And I like, and then like a lot of the Peter Parker beats that they want to hit, they could transfer onto Miles. Miles also has a load of beats of his own that can just be hit just as easily.
They're two very different characters, but they're also really interesting, both of them.
100%. And a big factor of this is that the Ultimate Comics, where Miles Morales originally came from, are coming back into Marvel. So they were discontinued for a lot of years, but they're starting that comic run again in the next few months. And it's an older Peter Parker who just has a family now, and then Miles Morales is like the main Spider-Man.
Imagine they did so bad that was like actually like 10 years down the line, and like Tom Holland was just like a guy, and like he was with Gwen Stacy and everything's fine, and then there's just a sniff that you can go to a different universe. Yeah. And just see what it's like. And then, like, is he a dickhead if he goes to just see? Like, if he's also now has a family and there's like a weird... I just don't want Hobgoblin. I don't want to see... I don't want a love triangle. I don't really give a shit about any of that stuff.
I kind of want Hobgoblin a little bit.
Nah.
I really think Jacob Batalon is meant to be Hobgoblin.
I think originally he was, but then I think they get on so well, and I love that scene in No Way Home where he's like, and I will never try to kill you.
Yeah, that telegraphs really hard that he's going to try and kill him.
No, but I think it's funny. It's better if he doesn't. I mean, like, because the two other Spider-Man's like, my best friend tried to kill me, and he's like, oh shit, okay. So just letting everyone know, Tom Holland's coming back, we're pretty sure, as Spider-Man.
Great suit. Great Spider-Man suit, I will say, at the end of No Way Home.
I think it might be more boring than number 3, but we'll see what happens. They'll still make like nearly $1 billion doing
100%.
this.
100%. It's Spider-Man at the end of the day.
Yeah, what can you do? Okay, moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. And I know what you're thinking. Star Wars hasn't had a lot of news recently.
Thank God, says I. I'm tired of Star Wars news. Please don't give me any.
Taika Waititi was meant to be doing a Star Wars movie, if you remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then there was rumours that it was scrapped. Now the project apparently remains alive and well after Taika himself has said that he's turned in multiple drafts of his Star Wars movie script to Lucasfilm. So still going ahead with Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie. It's very interesting because when this news got announced first, very excited, very happy. Thor Ragnarok had just come out. We were like, fuck, that's a great idea. Get Taika in.
Jojo Rabbit came out. We're like, Taika cannot miss.
Yeah, and then somehow it's gotten to the point where this news just made you sigh. And it's very interesting the last 12 months this man has had.
Yeah, like it's... I don't know what it is, but it's like the charm has worn off, maybe. Where maybe making up a movie on the fly doesn't work at this scale of movie. Like maybe on a smaller indie flick, that's the way to do it. But
true, but also then if I was to try and defend, I would say, well, it could just be a one-time thing where, look, mistakes were made. He probably won't do that again. Maybe he's learned some lessons from that.
I'd hope so. I know Chris Hemsworth came out after Love and Thunder and he was like, maybe it was a bit too silly.
Yeah. I think they have to say that.
Probably do. But I'm happy to hear that there's drafts of scripts happening. You know?
I'm happy there's ideas.
Or just feedback even.
I'm happy there's somebody within Lucasfilm that sees a script and goes, you know what we could do to make this better is if we did this.
Can you rewrite this part?
Now, saying that though, a lot of their rewrites normally come from lads in suits
it's kind
who
of
are
a
like
poison chalice.
Yeah, it's who's doing the rewrite really is the question.
Yeah, and we've seen over the weekend we put up the Morbius review, and by God, we've seen what rewrites can do to a film.
Yeah,
so we don't want that for Star Wars, but I
kind of like to see Morbius in space.
Where he can just suffocate and die.
I would just watch Jared Leto's Morbius.
Oh no, you said his real name. You've summoned him now, buddy.
No. Jared Leto in space.
Leads me on to my second question. Where's that Joker cutout I got you for your birthday?
It's in the corner.
It's not set up though, is it? It's not. It's not.
I'll get in trouble if it gets set up.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
If there's guests over and that fucking... If I would have said no, Shaun for my birthday last year, because we always get each other dumb gifts.
I said this to Orla actually. On our birthday we get each other dumb gifts, but for Christmas it's actually like nice gifts. Nice
ones? Yeah. So for our listener hangout, we did one of our Patreon listener hangouts and we unveiled some gifts. But one of them was a Joker. It's about 6 foot fucking 2.
It's life size, my friend.
It's a life size 6'2" Jared Leto from the Suicide Squad Joker cardboard cutout stand, and he's so horrifying. For a little bit, I had great fun of just putting him behind doors, and just
Excellent.
like as doors got opened and closed, screams were had. Now it was great crack, right?
It was good for you, yeah.
At a certain stage it was said, if that fucking Jared Leto doesn't get moved, I'm gonna kill you.
Why is he in the living room is my main question.
There's family members. We were at a funeral. I brought him with me.
They were laid out in front of him.
We went to a funeral of just a family member. You know yourself. I brought Jared. I placed him on top of the casket. What can you do? Look,
it's a sign of respect. respect.
He was having a bit of a rest. You know what I mean? Apparently, that was disrespectful. Everyone's in the room just looking at me. I'm just like, bless his father. Jeez, no. Jared, do you have anything to say yourself?
Jeez, he's distraught. He can't speak.
That's pure smut, Jared. Jeez, no. That's enough of Jared. But so you're saying Star Wars. What were you going to say? Your second point before I interrupted you?
No. Is that like the rewrites? Rewrites are good unto a point if the person asking for rewrites also knows what they're doing. Is my issue. Yes. But I feel like because the Taika Waititi Star Wars project could just become, let's put every popular Star Wars thing into one script and see what happens. Yeah,
like I think it could also be a situation where Taika's coming off a big loss, so could play it safe. I don't think he has that in him, though. I think it is going to be weird. I hope it doesn't involve some Skywalkers. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a position now where with Star Wars especially, I'm like, well, fuck it. Just see what happens.
The thing is that I don't know that I want to see that much Star Wars stuff anymore. My favourite Star Wars thing that's come out recently is Star Wars Visions. And it's just weird little stories from different studios. And they're great.
And what about, are you watching Ashoka?
No. Heavens no.
Heavens no.
I know Hayden Christensen's in it, but that's about it.
See, like, you love Star Wars, and the fact that you're like, nah, even I'm not doing that.
I just can't. Like, I watched 2 episodes of Loki, and I'll get around to it. I'm burned out on all of it, to be honest.
Disney Plus, I feel, right? Disney Plus is now like, when I think of Disney Plus, I think of work. I think of like, I have to do stuff.
I need to clock in and just like make sure
it's a job, and I don't want that. Like, I'm like, let's just see what's streaming, or like, oh, this could be a cool thing.
That's it.
But when there's a new one of any of those shows, Marvel or Star Wars, right? I'm like, right, do I watch it week by week, or do I watch it in a bunch?
At the end. Like, it's an ocean with the depth of a puddle. Like, there's so much stuff, but none of it fucking matters.
That was really deep. That was
thanks, bud.
Ironically.
Also, if you're looking for something good to watch, The After Party on Apple TV. Very, very good. Little murder mystery.
I think I'm paying for Apple TV. I'm not made of money.
I'll give you a login, bud. Don't you worry.
Don't say that little fucking hair.
I won't give you a login ever.
I hate freeloaders. Dickheads. Speaking of Taika, though, and speaking of Thor, Shaun, I've got a report that Thor 5 is in the works at Marvel Studios.
So in the works means they've hired a bunch of writers again and need something for them to work on.
Taika Waititi is not returning to the project for Thor 5.
You know what? I'm not mad. I will say, I'm not mad at that.
Yes, so no official word has been given regarding the project, like, officially happening, but there are several rumours and reports from several insiders stating that it's in a very early development for Thor 5.
Okay, so they're planning on making one.
Yeah, they're sending out feelers at the minute, I think.
Okay, I think there is room for another Thor story.
Is there?
I mean, he has the kid now and stuff like that, but like, I feel like he was like right at the end of Endgame. That was
peak Thor.
That was peak, and it was like, okay, he's ready to go on now, and he'll lead his people eventually, and all the rest of it. And now he's just wandering around the place.
Now he's back to Thor the Dark World levels, I think.
Yeah, where they don't know what to do with him. Like, he needs...
So he can be saved, is the thing. Like, Thor the Dark World, that movie's terrible. But he comes out of that and he becomes like, Ragnarok hits, then you have Infinity War, then you've got Endgame. Like, all that stuff is great. The problem is, we've talked Thor 4 to death, but like, the problem with that is it kind of forgets all the previous movies, and it forgets Infinity War and Endgame, and just resets.
I think Thor needs like a Secret Wars to happen, where I think in Secret Wars we're saying goodbye to Thor as we know him, and like maybe we'll get like Love as Mighty Thor or something like that, where that's his passing of the torch, like Iron Man to Riri Williams and Steve Rogers to Sam Wilson. I think we're like, by the end of this fucking, what's it called, multiverse saga, I think we're saying goodbye to this version of Thor.
I think Hemsworth also wants to step away as well. Like he
needs to do Extraction 6 or something, like whatever.
And also for Thor, he gets so huge. Like he's gigantic in number 4.
Yeah, and that's not just like boiled chicken and rice, isn't it?
No,
that takes a toll.
Like his arm is the size of people's legs.
Yeah. His arm weighs more than most, like, teenagers.
And fair folks to the lad.
No, yeah, because it involves work as well. But like Chris Hemsworth,
you don't need to do that.
He's pushing 50, surely. Like, he shouldn't have to be doing.
I don't think is he pushing? Yeah, maybe 42, 43.
But like again, that's a very like Irish. Again, this comes out, he'll be near 50. He's 40 at the minute.
Okay, 40.
So when Thor 5 comes out, he's going to be 45, 46.
I think he's still going to be jacked to the fucking gills. There's no issue with that.
No one should be that jacked at 46.
I think Thor is better if he's not jacked. It becomes great. Like, I think I like a little Thor, and then he just has the hammer, and he's just a god.
Give me an old man, but who's like godly strong, but doesn't look it.
But like Chris Hemsworth Thor.
Yeah.
In like the Odin role.
Like the way, like Loki is super strong, but he's a lean dude. That's somehow scarier than just a big fucking guy.
Do you think they'll reconnect old Loki for 5?
It's fucking weird that they haven't already, right? Like, if you want to sell Disney Plus subscriptions, have Thor show up in the Loki show.
Just have him turn up in one episode.
Yeah, and like just meet up and just like patch things up. Because at the minute, Thor thinks he's fucking dead as shit.
Now, the thing about that is, right, that people will then give out and be like, oh, that does... And it does ruin a lot of, like, a really good emotional arc for Thor and Loki, and I think that's really great, but at the same time, I don't think anyone cares anymore.
No. I don't think anyone cares about a lot of the... Like, have you seen the trailer for The Marvels?
I watched the first one because we reviewed it on this.
Yeah, but then there was one that was put out today. I saw it like on TV, and it just like, I love a lot of those characters, but my God, that movie looks like nothing.
Yeah, like I'm like, there's Miss Marvel is in it. I'm all in. Let's go.
Miss Marvel probably like her and She-Hulk, I think, are my favourite characters at the minute in the MCU.
Which proves the Disney Plus thing is working. In
some ways, but like I said, the characters, not the shows.
Yeah. The characters themselves were like, oh, they're good. Let's put them in better things.
Yeah. Like Tatiana Maslany as fucking Jennifer Walters. Insane. Like, yeah, so
she's
good.
She's like comic accurate.
100%. And then Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel. Fucking kill. We've said like that first episode of Miss Marvel is the best thing that they've made on Disney Plus.
Yeah. They never lived up to it. They like put it all into one, and then they just like fell apart.
That show really dies a death in the middle. But
yeah, and it's really disappointing more so, because we're like, yeah, this is really good, and then we're like, oh, why are you making them play them? Why do they have the worst villains I've ever seen?
Yeah, and it's like the actors are carrying the work for the poor pre-production that was put in from whatever, like, quote unquote streamlined and different process that Marvel had in place for those series.
We will probably touch on a bit more Marvel stuff later on. There's a lot of Marvel news, because I think Marvel were waiting until that writer's strike finished, and then they've been, for the last few weeks, they've been going, like, releasing a lot of stuff. But before we get to that, we do have news that doesn't involve comic book stuff. Thank God, fucking hell.
A nice little breather in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh jeez,
I had to struggle to find something that was... There's a Willy Wonka trailer coming. It's probably already here.
Don't threaten me with that, Connor, please.
Timmy, fair play to you, but I don't want to watch that.
Looks awful.
Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling set to reunite in an Ocean's 11 prequel.
I'm into this. I'm like, Ocean's 11, fantastic. So they're playing the the pre George Clooney's character getting arrested story.
So it's interesting because we also had Ocean's 8 in like 2018, I think it was.
Yes.
And that had Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett, and that was really, really big. I don't think it made as much money as they expected the Ocean's franchise to make. It had a lot of big stars in that movie. It probably should have made more. But now Margot and Ryan Gosling, I think like... Fuck, they're coming off Barbie.
Yeah.
That's a serious duo to bring in.
Because I'll watch those two in anything now. Like
I've come to the conclusion that I will watch Ryan Gosling in anything because I think he's my favourite actor.
I genuinely think so. I fucking love him so much, and he's such a like. I don't know any weird things about Ryan Gosling, but I know heaps about Will Smith. You know, like. That's what I want. I just want someone who's good and entertaining.
But you know he's good crack. Just from the way... Like, you know that he's... Like, I don't know. The sense of humour is a lot... Like, his sense of humour compared to, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds' sense of humour.
Yeah.
Very different, right?
Ryan Gosling has been a normal person before, is my thing.
Yeah, but he just looks like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
He's cursed by looking like Ryan Gosling. But, like, can you name one bad Gosling movie? Or Gosling performance.
Gosling performance, not a bad performance. Surely he might have been in some suspect movies. Not suspect.
Also, he's in The Nice Guys. So
The Nice Guys is fantastic. To be fair,
he's
also in Drive, where he's literally me. By the way,
he's not. He's not. You can't. You don't have a full license to that.
I can drive though. I just drive, Connor.
And let's just get in our car and drive.
He's good in La La Land. That movie's not great, but he's all right in it.
It won a few Oscars.
It won a few, but did it deserve it? Is the question. It was basically sucking off old Hollywood as well. Like that's the whole.
Yeah, it had Emma Stone and Gosling though going at.
Yeah,
so
not going at it. That's a different kind of film.
No, I didn't mean like that. I meant like they were singing and dancing.
Crazy Stupid Love, great in that.
And an amazing film.
Amazing film. The Notebook, a classic. Builds that fucking porch right good.
She's got Alzheimer's. Oh, God.
Speaking of which, Remember the Titans.
He's in... Yes!
He's in Remember the Titans.
Like, genuinely, Remember the Titans is one of my favourite movies.
It's really good.
I love Remember the Titans.
When he shows up on Saturday Night Live and he does that skit with Will Ferrell where he just sells knives.
I think that's good, even though it's not great, but it's good, it's funny. I think if you haven't seen The Nice Guys, by the way, we would urge you to search out The Nice Guys. It's a movie that made no money.
But it's hilariously written. Can we just, for us, put that in the hat for the Patreon?
I think me and you are going to sneak that into the hat and do it on a month when we're feeling a bit down. That's it,
yeah. Like some cold February evening. You better believe it.
Although it is a perfect birthday thing, but our birthdays are now not until next year, so it's annoying.
True. We did burn our birthdays. You had Moneyball. I had Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
good birthdays, to be fair.
Moneyball, fantastic. Go watch that. Gosling would do great in that movie as well.
Gosling would fit in seamlessly in Moneyball.
Are we Gosling's agents?
I think we're just Gosling's biggest fans at this point.
I think, but like Gosling's like he's too out there. Like Barry Keoghan is like our guy. Like we got to stick with him because he's one of us.
He's achievable. I think is Barry Keoghan.
Like Gosling and Colin Farrell, like we're getting rid of them. Like they're too far ahead.
Here's the thing. I think like Colin Farrell would try to make us feel at ease. Is the thing.
Whereas Gosling doesn't really care.
No, he doesn't care. But just like I think he would just expect more of us. You know.
He'd look down upon us.
We've never done an interview on this show, and we probably never will.
The interview with him and Alison Hammond. And,
it's so good. Harrison Ford for Blade Runner.
Yeah, Harrison. It's so funny. Okay. Yeah, but they're doing an Ocean's
him on
11.
Hot Ones as well is delightful.
Ocean's 11 prequel, Shaun.
I'm in. I'm so in, Connor. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I think these two could make this a very big film. You stack out the rest of the cast. with a lot more of their
You need
big
the
name friends.
ensemble. Yeah, unless they do Ocean's 2 and it's just the two of them running a job.
I do like the idea of like a ragtag crew, though.
We all love a ragtag crew, Connor. What numbers haven't they haven't done Ocean's 6 yet? So
they haven't done Ocean's 10, technically.
True, but let's make this achievable, that we have a budget to hit. Okay.
So like the star level, 2001, they got Clooney and Pitt and Damon.
Don Cheadle doing a weird accent.
Don Cheadle was in that. Like, that's a serious outfit. Like,
It's
even
really,
to get Clooney and Pitt.
Yeah, and then Damon was still like, it was still early enough that he's like, oh, he's a young kid in that.
He's a new kid on the block.
Yeah. So say we do Ocean 6, and it's
right.
Gosling, Margot Robbie. Give me another 4 that you want to be in this.
Oh, fuck.
You need the old master. So who do we get for that?
Oh, the old master. Who's somebody that's older? Gleeson. We could get Gleeson in.
Gleeson
if you
would
wanted.
be solid.
I think
That
Gleeson would be good.
Like an Irish-American, like, move to Boston kind of.
Oh, they could call him Fingers MaGee. I'd be okay with that.
100%. That's fine by me. If we're doing that, we may as well get Donal in.
Don't let him to be his son who he's teaching.
Yeah, he's bringing him up.
I think this is now becoming a money heist on Netflix. But like, you bring in Donal as the son.
Yeah.
So Brendan is there. He's like he's Fingers MaGee. He's been around the block. He's getting a bit old. He's training Donal in. Donal's not as good, but he's trying his best.
Toes because he's not quite Fingers.
Toes MaGee. No, they call him Elbows because he's all arms and elbows. You know what I mean?
He hasn't quite got it down yet.
He's not as slick, you know what I mean? Okay, there's 2 more, so you're up to Ocean's 4.
It's a whole other film we have to plan there. And then we need... Who else is in the team? I want a demolitions expert. We're going to switch it up. It's a lady this time.
Okay.
So
you're a madman. Women know nothing about explosives. That's what I've learned from Transformers movies.
Oh, you should really broaden your search of where you learn about women.
Michael Bay said that to me once, and I said, well, he must know what he's talking about.
I mean, he's Michael Bay. He wrote Armageddon. So, actually, Megan Fox as like an explosions expert, I would buy.
I think she's already doing the Expendables 4.
Oh, is she? The Expendagals.
Yeah. The Expendables 4, the new one now with Statham.
Fuck, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, no, she's in that one. Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez?
That's too obvious.
It's too obvious.
It's too obvious.
Okay, we're doing
Julia
Irish.
Roberts.
Saoirse Ronan.
We're just casting an Irish.
Just casting Irish. We're doing it.
And then Barry's in it, obviously.
It's Ocean's O'Shea, we're calling it.
Lads, I think Ocean's, the Irish crew with Gosling and Margot Robbie would be incredibly funny.
Yeah. So if Gosling, Margot Robbie, we have Brendan Gleeson, Donal Gleeson, Saoirse Ronan, Barry Keoghan. We'll get Colin in as well. Colin could be the villain in it.
I think you're doing okay. Then we need Gladiator 2. What's his name?
Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal. So Paul is going to come in. I think Paul is the new guy in the team.
Oh, he's like being shown the ropes. That's how we're introduced to everyone.
We're introduced
he's
to Paul.
The Matt Damon character.
He's the Matt Damon character, but he's just like, he doesn't know what's going on.
God, that's pretty good. Give me Irish heist movies, please.
You can't tell us that won't be good.
That will make money. Look at that cast.
I mean, it won't make any money.
That'll make so much money.
I'd go see it 50 times.
Do you know how many people loved normal people who will watch it just for Paul?
True, actually. That is true. And Saoirse's in it as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
We're knocking it out of the park.
You get Mescal, you get Saoirse, like... Barry, I mean... And Colin Farrell's obviously the bad guy. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
He's like, is he doing Irish accent or American accent, Colin Farrell?
Oh, I think for that amount of Irish people, you need to have them do the Irish accent. I want Gosling and Margot Robbie to be the weird ones in this scenario.
They're all like, everyone else in the team is looking at them like, who the fuck invited these guys?
Oh, like I want this set in fucking like Drumcondra. Like, it's like this is where it's going down.
It's in the middle of a field. It's like, we need to rob that other farmer's land.
It's like The Guard, that film, but Ocean's 11.
I think we are probably either printing money or losing a lot of money for the studio right now, and you can let us know.
It's a gamble, but we can put it all on red and we could make billions.
I don't know if you know how gambling works.
I put 500 on red, 500 on black. I can't possibly lose.
But you lose 500.
But I win 500. I just like to see the yoke spin.
I'm always up. I'm always up at least half of what I put in.
In terms of dopamine, I'm winning.
So, Shaun, we're going to have to move on. I just wanted to talk about, there's an Oceans movie coming out. It won't have anything to do with anything we just talked about, but Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are in it, so it's probably going to be good.
Yeah, but we also pitched a Batman film where Clayface was the villain, and that could happen. So,
I mean, that was years ago. We were ahead of the game on that one, so don't know. Kevin Feige is planning to reboot the MCU with Secret Wars, Shaun. So Feige's reading the room. And he's
that room that is filled with smoke and empty whiskey glasses. Yeah,
we have talked before about Kevin Feige's room that he is currently in, where he is just whiteboard and just with a marker.
I think he's down to chalk at this point.
And he's always smoking like cigarette. Oh fuck, what did I say? What is Iron Man doing? Oh Jesus Christ.
Ant-Man's daughter is a different person.
Give me another Dave Ragataz series. Oh fuck, I want to be seventh name now.
It all hinges on this. Oh.
And he's trying to connect all the dots and none of them work. And someone, like an intern, comes in with coffee and he's like, fuck off, right? I'm working here.
He hears a slight reverberation. He goes back onto echo. It's like, maybe echo is the key.
Hang on a minute. He's constantly trying to A Beautiful Mind phase 6.
He's calling Tom Holland's agent, being like, no, give him dirt, like we need him, keep him sweet.
So yeah, look, Kevin Feige has now said that they're going to try and not prune everything, but like get rid of some of the bits that aren't working after Secret Wars. They're going to use Secret Wars as a soft reboot in which they can kind of get rid of a lot of the dead weight that's currently around, and keep what is working like in it, or bring back people that you thought were gone forever.
We'll put Iron Man in a trailer to get you in the seats.
Like, please come back. Please, it's Robert, good again.
Look, I know Doolittle 2 is calling to you, but please.
And Tom Holland's in that as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone's surprised that they're thinking of rebooting the MCU. Again, I think I said this on the live stream that we had with the Patreons a while ago, but I find it fascinating how closely the MCU as a property is following the comics industry as a whole.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Oh, well, not cool, but like it's fascinating to look at. It's
interesting. Yeah, like you start small and niche, and then like in the 90s they grew to the biggest thing ever, and they started throwing everything at the wall and just trying to do the most and the biggest and the most shocking things. And then people got tired of that and sales really fell off, and it became more of a subculture again, where people who just like had been in it for so long were still paying attention to it. And then after things like DC Rebirth and all new, all different Marvel, it gets this whole new life again. And like it's a good new entry point, and everything makes a bit more sense, and people spend time working out where everything sits.
It's actually, like, as a concept, really interesting, as you said, like that a project like comic books where it gets too big, like the New 52 and all that stuff came in, but very, very much so Marvel at all their sales, is that like you set a story up, so you set all these characters and then you set stakes, and then like 5 months down the line someone comes in and says, we need to raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Like, the stakes aren't big enough. People have seen these stakes. Okay, this is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
5 months from that, okay, we need bigger stakes. This is what we're...
And then that writer finishes their tenure on that project and a new writer takes it over.
And the new writer can't go to the first original stakes. They've got to raise it from where they went from.
They have to earn their keep and show that, no, it's worth having me here.
So you're always going up. And by the time you get to the peak, like, you can't go anywhere else. Like, the universe is ending. Okay,
Yeah.
And we've solved that.
We've solved that again and again and again. And then, like, people lose interest. But then you do this really weird Hawkeye comic where half of it is told in sign language. And it's an amazing, like, bestseller because it's something different, but it's small.
The smaller ones then become more likeable because people don't want to be like, I don't want to know about a universe-ending thing. I just want to be like, okay, here's this character who's going to save things.
I want to see how Peter Parker pays his rent day to day. Like,
yeah, it's human psychology is really interesting, and it's really cool that Kevin Feige's like, well, not cool, probably for him, but they're finding it out in real time that, like, if you do the arc, you finish on they solve all of the problems in the universe and reset time, and then they're just like, well, okay, now we gotta go again.
Yeah, there always needs to be a next thing.
It's just, I don't know what they're going to do. The soft reboot, will it work after Secret Wars?
I don't think you'll ever get back.
No.
Like, Endgame opening night, that's never going to happen again.
No, I think it's good to also, from their point of view, accept that.
Yeah.
To be just like, right, well, we are never going to get back to that.
Because everyone in the 90s was trying to do Death of Superman sales numbers.
Yeah.
And it never really happened again.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened since, in fact. So I think, just reconcile with that and just tell good stories so you have a consistent baseline of, like...
And what normally happens is they end up shooting themselves in the foot because they're like, look at this person, they're back. Look at this person, they're back.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get that instant, like, hit of, like, more and more and more.
The example being the Illuminati in that Doctor Strange movie.
And it's like the... Of what's the phrase of, like, the less returns, the more you do it, the less returns you're going to get from it.
Yeah,
that it's kind of like, this is it, this is amazing, this is the next big thing. Oh my god, there's this cameo, there's this thing, and eventually people are like, well, okay, cool, fine.
And I think No Way Home rang that bell at the start, where it was just like, here's Toby and Andrew, and it makes sense that they're there. And they play a kind of a key part in the plot as well.
I think that was like the hinge. That movie was like the hinge swinging, that they did it just right. Just the right amount that people liked it. And then it tippled over.
And then the counterpoint to that is George Clooney showing up at the end of The Flash. Or fucking George Reeve or Nicolas Cage showing up in The Flash. Being like, here they are, because that's what the algorithm says people like in a movie.
Yeah, and it's not actually the case.
No.
Really. Like, it's people like that because if I asked you, what would you like to see? And you write that down, but are you going to pay money to see that? Or are you just going to watch a trailer that has that in it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like even... and in a comic, the extent of that is, like, the example would be iconic panels. Is like, do you care enough to read the whole story, or do you just want to see Batman cradling a dead Jason Todd? Or do you want to read Death in the Family? Like, Death in the Family is a good enough story that it justifies having that iconic panel. But if every Batman comic since did a variation on that panel, every time it comes up, it's worse.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, man. Like, I just think... I think... the more you try to strive to hit that original high, you're never going to do it, and the more desperate it becomes. Ironically, the less you try to hit it, the more you then go inward of, like, let's just do smaller and smaller and smaller stuff. I think you'll get a much more, like, hardcore fan base that will come back. They'll be like, look, maybe not everybody likes it. You're not going to make $1 billion, but you'll make like a solid 400, 500 million for every movie that people are like, I'm a comic book fan and I like this movie.
Look, like, Iron Man did very, very well, and it's just a solid movie. And no one fucking knew Iron Man at the time. They watched it because it was good.
Okay, we're going to finish off movie monthlies, I should say, because Shaun, this is our last piece of movie news for 3 weeks. It's very sad.
Well, I mean, we do the show monthly, Conor. It's not actually going to change that much.
No, but I just mean like your last time on the show. Like, we're all going to move on without you.
Don't put my internal thoughts external, please.
You could be international flying. Like, oh fuck, I come back and I just have a new host.
Also named Shaun, because you refused to change.
Named Shaun.
You got Chris O'Dowd. Yeah, there we go.
Yes. We're finishing off with a report, Shaun, that Matthew Vaughn has been attached to the DC universe in some capacity. The report states that Matthew Vaughn has been brought in to direct a project in the immediate future in the DC universe.
Right.
This is Matthew Vaughn, of course, who directed a lot of your favourite movies. Kingsman being one of the main ones that he did. Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class.
Layer Cake?
Yep. Yeah, true. He also did X-Men Days of Future Past. Unfortunately, he also did Fantastic Four. That's not great. That's just one.
Fantastic Four 2005?
2015.
Oy, Jesus. Rough.
But look, he did X-Men First Class and the Kingsman franchise, and X-Men Days of Future Past, and Kick-Ass, so like not bad.
And Stardust, Connor, as well, with Charlie Cox.
He's an excellent director, really good at doing violence as well.
Yeah, excellent visual style as a director.
Really unique to him.
Yeah, and so this would be in the new James Gunn and Peter Safran fronted DCU that he's creating this film in.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't really know what he's going to direct, but they do know they have him on board. So now the question becomes, what project do you have Matthew Vaughn do?
Do you give him Batman?
Yes and no. There's a bit of me that's like, that would be really cool. But then there's also a bit of me, like if you had that church scene, but like it's Batman taking out goons. Like church scene in Kingsman.
Yeah. But see, I really like the subway scene in Matt Reeves as the Batman for that kind of Batman.
Yeah,
violence.
where like the problem with any Batman thing, you're competing against Matt Reeves first and foremost, who's one of the best directors like alive currently.
Yeah.
And like you're also doing it concurrently as he's also doing a Batman movie.
Yes. Wait, so yeah, you're comparing two things that could be very, very good, but you are inviting comparison just by existing.
It's going to make both worse if they both exist simultaneously.
So, looking at his career history, somehow it feels like it's all been building to doing a Batman film.
You know what? Yes. I think... I mean, he knows superhero movies as well. Like, he could do a super-powered character. I mean, he did X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past. Those movies are really good. Kick-Ass would probably serve more towards the Batman movies. Yeah. But, like, those movies prove he can do powers.
Yes, and Kingsman shows he can do spies and gadgets and investigation.
I do like, he produced Fantastic Four in 2015.
Well, we won't hold that against him.
He didn't direct. So he wasn't involved in that. Was that Josh Trank that directed that?
It was Josh Trank.
Josh Trank. Sorry,
he drove
I just
a Corvette
that.
into a pool. That's what happened.
Yeah, good Trank.
But Matthew Vaughn has produced Snatch and Mean Machine as well. So, and Mean Machine is class.
It's pretty good. Mean Machine is the English version of The Longest Yard. That's how you know it's good.
Starring Danny Meehan.
And Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones plays Danny Meehan, an aggressive footballer. And Burt Reynolds is in both versions of the American Longest Yard. Yeah, there we go.
So what do you think, Matthew Vaughn? Would you give him Batman?
I'd give him Batman, especially if it's Batman and Robin. I think he could fucking do the father-son dynamic as well as the crime-fighting superheroism. Yeah.
The more you're talking to me, the more I'm like, they're bringing him in for Batman.
I don't think you get Matthew Vaughn if it's not for Batman.
And like, you could give him somebody else, I suppose, but
what
like Green Lantern or someone.
See, that's a TV series, which I don't feel you get Matthew Vaughn for.
Yeah. Superman's doing... James Gunn has Superman. That's locked in. That's not moving.
And I'm happy about that.
And Matthew Vaughn could do a great Wonder Woman movie, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Or a Black Canary movie. Oh, he'd do a great Black Canary movie.
The sound effects, the effects of the sound would be great in that.
Yeah, he'd do great at that. But I don't think they're doing a Black Canary movie.
No, probably not.
But so, because I think they're starting off Batman, Superman, and then go on.
What if that rumoured Constantine sequel that's coming up?
Oh, no, there's no way he's doing Constantine.
Not a hope.
Keanu Reeves.
But, Jesus, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
It'd be fucking good though, but he won't. I don't know what he's doing, but I think it's great. It's a great get for the DCEU.
Yeah.
I think James Gunn, that's your first, we got a star director. Here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of good faith that you get just by hiring him.
Because Matthew Vaughn not only directs, he writes.
Yeah. So,
very similar to James Gunn, you got a writer and a director rolled into one. We know the tone, we know the style, and that's really good because it means it's very similar to Matt Reeves. The person behind it. This is the vibe we're going to get.
Yeah, they know from start to finish what they want to do. They have it all planned out.
And I think James Gunn would be like, I trust you. You're Matthew Vaughn, so you're quite good. What are you going to do? And I'm like, I have this idea. That's pretty good.
I also feel he's enough of a name that he can push back against James Gunn if he really feels something belongs.
Yeah. And I think James Gunn is probably one of those you're really good. So
I'm not going to baby you here.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for Movie Monthlies.
It's a good month. Good month of news, Conor. It only took 2 months to get here. But
we just kind of have a little few chats these days.
I like it. It's easier than let's talk about the Snow White reboot again and again.
There's a Gargoyles live action movie. If you
I don't care or want to know.
I know it, so now you do.
Would you like me to take us out, Conor?
Yes, please.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Movie Monthlies. We will be back next month with another episode of Movie Monthlies. Next Wednesday there'll be something now, and next Friday we should have a regular Hero or Zero, I think. It's all a bit up in the air at the minute because one of us, not going to say who, is pissing off for 3 weeks. But thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Weird News Wednesdays. Massive shout out goes to our patrons, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Also, you do get the extra episodes. You do get a Q&A that went up recently. You do get our Morbius review. And you also get a shout out on the show. So a big thank you goes to Róisín the Wife Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast, Evanson, Shaun's uncle's Fingers MaGee. That's Brendan Gleeson, apparently. Here's a couple tenors. David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the Wash and It'll Be Grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Irish Walrus Forever Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine are renting a human-sized hamster wheel to see all the ocean ghosts. Russ, I'm struggling a bit here. Shaun, would you happen to have one of your hilarious anecdotes to help me out? Parfitt. Jackson Brueheim wonders if there's a variation of Kang that loves playing conkers called Kang the Conker-er. Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon. Kira Lawler, Abs Kebabs, Judge Lahi, Killian Cronin, Kyle Borowski, and Luke is back to the future of days past. Look, the names are all well and good, but my throat is in bits, I'm going to say.
You're taking the fucking piss, lads, to be honest.
Come on now, even he's saying it.
But you know what? You know what I'm going to say right now? Do it more.
No,
I want more.
stop
I want that list longer. I want every name longer.
There's a glorious few names at the start there that are just regular. And
you barrel through them and then we hit you with a fucking brick wall.
I lose steam halfway through. But thank you to everyone.
Also, that list is getting longer.
It is getting longer. It's really nice. Thank you very much for that. Also, check out, we did put up the Morbius review over the weekend. If you want to hear us talk about the best comic book property to ever exist. But other than that, we do have a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. I think that's fixed, but I'm not sure. Twitter @HeroesForHirePod, Facebook is Detective Gentleman's Discussion Group, Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast, and the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
And see you next month, guys.
Next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alors, un bon rôti de porc filière qualité Carrefour, c'est quoi pour vous?
C'est trop bon avec de la moutarde et des croquettes.
Ah bah j'imagine que c'est des producteurs locaux.
Eh oui, c'est tout ça le rôti de porc d'antan filière qualité Carrefour. Et jusqu'à mardi, il est à moins 35%, soit 8,95€ le kilo. Aussi sur carrefour.be. Carrefour, on a tous droit au meilleur.